Guten Tag, everyone. Welcome back to VITrendZ. So, come on, guys, grab your passports and get your visas ready as VITrendZ brings you a new episode of World 2 series powered by Simpliclarify. Simpliclarify provides a platform for students from various prestigious universities abroad to mentor undergraduate students in college and aims to empower students to take self-analyzed career decisions. It is a platform for students to have one-on-one sessions with mentors who have achieved what you want to do in life and to give you a holistic view about their career choices. So, today we would be flying straight away to Germany with our flight captain Bharat Bhaskar, who have done his BTech in Information Technology from VIT Vellore and MS in Entrepreneurship from European Management School. So fasten your seatbelts and prepare for taking off into Bharat's journey. First off, Bharat, please introduce yourself to us.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sriharsha, for having me here. First of all, hello viewers. My name is Bharat Kanmihali Bhaskar, and currently I am working as a product marketing analyst in Nuri, a crypto fintech in the heart of Berlin. A bit of background about myself. I did my bachelor's in information technology from VIT Vellore. I completed my graduation in 2019. After that, I even in my 20 in my bachelor's, I had the chance to pursue exchange semesters at National University of Singapore and also Ben Gurion University of the Negev, Israel. Um, so these were my first two encounters with the foreign universities as such. After coming to that, I decided to do masters in management, which was in Germany in ESMT Berlin, which is one of the top business schools in the world. Masters in management, specializing in global and digital strategy, also entrepreneurship. Um, and then I had a chance to work in F2 Pool, which is the world's biggest Bitcoin mining pool. And now I'm currently in crypto fintech called Nuri, as I said. So yeah, I'll be very, very happy to answer all of your questions, and I'll be very honored to help you in your master's journey.
Thank you, Bharat. So, see, we all know that Germany is a very beautiful country, but linguistic barriers might pose a problem. So, how do you choose Germany with the right country for your higher education?
Yes. For me, choosing Germany was a goal, and linguistic barrier was a obstacle that I had to come forward, right? So choosing the goal was always my first priority. So my goal was always to be in a startup world where I can put my skills into work and where I can learn ground up how to proceed in a how to move forward with all the problems I have and all the banks that are currently facing, and all the startup is the only way where you can learn
Yes.
stuff. Otherwise, there's just processing, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking at startup hubs around the world, like London, Berlin, San Francisco, Bangalore, etc. So that is how I made my choice that Berlin would be a right mix for me, according to me, what my goals are. So that is how I chose Germany. And then the problem of language came, which I had to overcome. But luckily, my university course was in English, and I did not have a requirement as such to learn German to pursue my master's. Language comes thereafter, so that was not an issue for me.
Speaking of which, should one be proficient in German to be able to write German language standard tests for applying for universities?
Um, there are two parts to it. One is that if you are focusing on a course that is completely in German, if it's a requirement, then you have to be proficient in German to understand what's happening. But in my opinion, or what all the courses which generally interest Indians are not in German language, it's in English. So the courses as in such does not require you to be proficient in German. um, but completing the course is one aspect, right? You have
Yeah,
to get into the job market, you have to excel in the field, and you have to pursue your goals. For
exactly.
that, you need to have German. You need to have a bit of German which can take you through the market and
Hmm.
also to succeed, right? It
Yeah.
depends actually. For some people, it does not even require. I completed B2 of German, and I still do not require German to speak in my organization because everything is in English. It's
English.
English first organization, and I can assure you that there are a lot many companies like this, and where you
Hmm.
do not require even a little bit of German. I speak in English all over the Germany, and people do get understand. It's my
Okay.
experience. If you're in a remote part of the people or part of the country, you might require German, but it's not such a requirement as in
Not, yeah. Okay. So, how to select the right study program and university, like in terms of factors to consider?
yeah. One formula what I always had was to write down my goals, right? uh, I will always write down my how will I what do I want to achieve in the next 5 years. What are my goals? I used to write down. That's the strategy I always follow, and I always tell others, right? Because then it tells you clearly in which geography you need to apply, in which universities you need to apply, and how do you want to filter your universities,
Okay.
because not every university has the same character, has
Hmm.
the same goals what you have. Once you write down your goals, then it becomes clear for you, okay, these are my goals and this university focuses on these goals, and then you can really filter down, and you can select your universities, and you make your application lives easier as well. Sometimes what it happens is that there are hundreds of universities, and you just go on applying for all of them, and you get results from them. Some you
Yeah.
might get selected, some you might not,
May
and
not
then
get.
at the final thing, you will be very limited in terms of selecting the university which may or which might not satisfy your goals, right? So writing
Yeah.
down your goals and being focused from initial part is the mantra that I follow. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Okay. So we were told that it is recommended that in order to increase your chances of getting a student visa, you should use a blocked account as a proof for financial resources. So can you please tell more about that?
Yeah, sure. I think blocked account is one of the requirement the German embassies or German consulates have in place for students to get the initial job search, like
Job.
student visa,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
previously this was not the case, but many students started defaulting, and they started having problems that they could not lead their lives in Germany. So that is why they have introduced in this system where you have to deposit a certain amount of money which is sufficient for the 1 year into a German bank account in your name,
Yeah.
out of which that money gets divided into 12 equal parts, and that will be given
Oh,
to your bank account at the starting of each month. So
okay.
that is the simple way which the blocked account works, and I think it's
Oh.
a requirement, and which makes
Hmm.
your visa application a lot easier.
Okay, wow, it's a very good one actually. And under the current law, every foreign non-EU or non-EEA student must have a proper financial means to finance the stay in Germany during the studies. So, by what ways one can arrange for monetary requisites?
Mhm. It depends on the financial background of the student, right? Actually,
Yeah.
if they're self-sufficient, if their family is provide to is on a good position to provide them funding, it's all good. But otherwise, my suggestion in specific to Germany is that Germany tuition fees are not so high as compared to the US
Yeah.
or be it any part of the world, right? Like many are public universities. If you're public universities, then definitely it's lesser than the fees of what VIT charges. That I can assure you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if it's a paid university, there are also different Indian banks which can provide loans, right?
Okay.
And also there's one called Prodigy Finance, which I took my loan from, which was completely non-collateral loan,
Oh.
and which is like really good, and its interest rates are even lesser than what Indian banks offer me. So there are a
Okay.
lot of funding options, and Indian banks, and also the universities that you're targeting to has
Hmm.
specific partnerships with the loan agencies. So
Okay.
that is not an option. You can have the financial means. That's I would not consider that as a huge issue in the
Huge.
application process.
Yeah. Okay. So, one of the basic question that everyone have in mind. So, how to acquire a German student visa and how much does it cost in general?
Yeah. Okay. Applying for German student visa is pretty straightforward, right? One has to apply at the local or concerned German consulate or German embassy, which is near to their location. They have specific set of documents. And one tip that I want to give here is that many students often fail to provide the required documents that are mentioned in the checklist, right? So this would pose a problem because German is a very bureaucratic country in which they want all the documentation to be very proper,
Hmm.
and they are very particular about these issues. So this is the
Yeah.
psychology of German system. So I would always suggest to go through the checklist twice, if not once, and then keep the documents ready in the same order that they have placed in the checklist. And
Okay.
if the student does that, I do not see any problems in
Any
getting
prop?
away.
Yeah. We
That would
don't
be
have to
very
worry about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then that would be very swift process. And I think the fees for student visa is pretty
Yeah.
normal. I think it's around 100 euros or 120 euros, which is around 8 to 10,000 rupees.
Okay.
That's about it.
So in this case, like how would Simply Clarify make our work easier while applying to colleges abroad?
Yeah, I think Simply Clarify has one of the most valuable proposition in terms of having a huge pool or network of the people who have first-hand experienced the masters in the specific country.
Yeah.
And Simply Clarify brings these pool into together, and people can get the first-hand interaction with the persons who have themselves done it, right? So if anybody wants to pursue masters in ESMT Berlin, then I am the alum of ESMT Berlin, and they can
Yeah.
get to know more insights by consulting me, or might researching about the institution. But I'll be there firsthand.
Yeah.
uh, Many of the things are not available on the internet, such as the culture of the university,
हेलो
what's the
हेलो
goals of
हाँ
the
ब्रो
university.
वो सुन ना वो
These
तूने मीम
cannot be
भेजा है ना
written
वो ओपी
down
है
on
मतलब
any
उसमें सिर्फ वो
website or
कप
something.
निकाल के
It's
फॉरगेट
only
कर दे
experience.
हाँ
So this
भेज
is
दिया
the
क्या ठीक है
curated
ओके
experience what
ठीक
I
है
think Simply Clarify offers the most. So that's the best advantage that I see, and it's a very useful resource for the students.
So the questions which can be answered only by experience can be provided to Simply Clarify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's very scarce in this huge pool of universities. There are hundreds of universities, Riyasha,
Yeah.
and you cannot know the culture of each of them.
Each of them.
But
Yes.
if you are in a touch with a person who has spent his 2 to 3 years in a college, where he
Yes.
has lived that experience, and he knows in and out
Hmm.
what the university is like, what the admission process looks like, then it becomes huge advantage to the person who is applying because he knows stuff, how to get through this.
Hmm.
So that is where I see advantage of Simply Clarify. I wish I had this offer when I was applying to my masters. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like after completing our education in Germany, so how do we obtain a work visa?
hmm Yeah, the process is pretty straightforward as well. All the people who complete their masters in Germany are entitled to get 18-month job seeker visa,
Wow.
which is by comparison much huge or much more. They give a lot of duration when compared to US or other countries.
Yes.
So you get 18 months just to search for a job. Uh, so, from my opinion, I think 2 to 3 months is a good time where person can get a decent job of their liking. And then once you get that job, you can convert into employment visa, and that will be helped by the company which you are with.
Okay.
So that's a pretty straightforward process. Yeah.
Yeah. So 18 months is a very long time, but actually, yeah, it would help many people.
Exactly. Many a
Yeah.
times, what happens is that if there's a short-term recession or a job freeze, or maybe the company or a industry what you're entering
Yeah.
might be in not a good position to hire, right?
Hmm.
So what you can do is you can take up some other part-time job. You
Exactly.
can go through the swift through that period for a period of 4 to 5 months, say 6 months. Then
Hmm.
you can target the companies or the industry where you want to go, and then you can get the job.
Yeah.
And you're not bound to any job which you do not like. That's the advantage of giving this
Yeah.
18 months.
Yeah. So, what would be your suggestion? What would you suggest to our listeners for planning for higher education abroad?
Mhm. Yeah. One suggestion or tip that I want to provide that most people fail to consider is that they think that ranking is everything, ranking of universities, right?
Universities, yeah.
That's completely false in my opinion, and that's not true because A university that ranks 15th on any ranking websites might not be as good as you think for your goals as the university that's somewhere around 29 or 30.
Hmm.
I don't know, but because those universities do not consider your goals, your specific
Yeah.
goals, and aspirations that you want to achieve, right?
Hmm.
So there is a specific criteria behind charting down the rankings.
Hmm.
Some part of it goes to alumni networks, salaries of students after 3 years, infrastructure, number of Nobel Prize holders the university has, its professors, all these 100 different criteria, right? That does not take into consideration yours or my goals. So
Yeah.
definitely you have to always filter down or understand from people on what are your goals and does this university strive hard to push these goals. So
Okay.
that is how you need to filter out universities. Only then it will be very easier for you to achieve your goals and to go into the path where you want to go.
So ranking is not the only thing which help us. We should make sure that the college, the university satisfy our goals.
Exactly. Ranking
Okay.
definitely gives you a
An
sign
insight.
of
Yeah.
insight about how good the school is. But definitely, as you said, it's not the only criteria that
Only
one should look
criteria.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very beneficial and informative while talking with you. So, dear passengers, we have arrived at our destination, Germany. On behalf of Simpliclarify and the entire crew of VITrendZ, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. And to earn a premium membership access to our world tour, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share this podcast with your friends. Thank you.